everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a supernova empath. This is actually something I just recently learned about, and I think hearing about this and learning about what it is can really benefit so many of us who are empaths and who are trying to get out of narcissistic relationships. Before I get into what a supernova empath is, I'm just going to go over a little bit about the empath-narcissistic relationship. I know a lot of you who watch my channel are empaths because people overwhelmingly who watch my channel have been or are in a narcissistic relationship, and overwhelmingly the people who are involved in narcissistic relationships are empaths. Narcissists, of course, are emotional vampires. They're soul suckers, literally. They don't care about anybody else. They are tornadoes of destruction. They destroy all the good people in their lives. They take and hurt and maim and walk away like it never even happened. They leave a trail of destruction and agony behind them, and they move forward really like nobody else matters, like nothing existed before this, that the narcissist lives in this now moment and they just move on and walk away. They don't care about their family, their children, nothing. They don't care about the financial devastation, the emotional devastation. It doesn't matter to them. An empath, on the other hand, is somebody that feels emotions intensely. In fact, an empath can feel other people's emotions. They just intuitively know, you just know when somebody's hurting, when there's a problem. And this is part of the attraction that the empath has to the narcissist, because narcissists are very wounded people. There's a core wound. They have a wound, a core of shame inside of themselves. They have hatred for themselves, for humanity. They are truly evil people. A lot of people, myself included, believe that they are demonic. Truly, they have that degree of evilness in them. And so an empath can sense that something is terribly wrong. An empath wants to help. They're healers. Empaths are natural born healers. So oftentimes, narcissists and empaths get together. They end up in relationships. The empath really is an easy target for a narcissist. Narcissists are essentially very lazy people. They want to put out the minimal effort for the maximum results. They want to be in a relationship with somebody because they want somebody to take care of them, to do everything for them. They don't want to have to do anything for themselves, but they don't care. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that doesn't care about you, eventually things are really going to go wrong. You can't maintain a relationship like that. And an empath will ramp it up. They'll try to be better. They'll try to do more. And the narcissist is only too happy to take that. The thing is also, I would go so far as to say, I really can't imagine that anybody who isn't an empath would be in a relationship with a narcissist long term. Just nobody, because the thing about an empath, people have a high regard for an empath. Oh, an empath, they're so special, they're so gentle, they're so wonderful. That's true to a degree, but also realistically, and I'm an empath, so I'm not saying negative things about empaths. I get it. But the thing about an empath is that when you are giving you constantly to other people and you disregard yourself all the time, there's something wrong there. There's something you need to look within yourself. Why are you doing it? Why don't you care about yourself at all? It's not narcissistic to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. You need to be the best that you can be so that you can be the best person that you can be. If you are constantly neglecting your own emotional needs, if you're constantly letting people walk all over you, that really is something that you need to look at. And we, as empaths, can look internally. We can see who we are as people, see where we need to change. A narcissist can never do that. A narcissist wants you to be an empath always. They want your constant forgiveness. They want you to do anything that they ask you to do, anything that they need. That's the type of people they are. They're supremely selfish. They're not giving. They're not loving. So these types of relationships are nightmares for the empath. A narcissist is like a tornado ripping through your soul. They will take everything down. They will reduce your insides to dust. They will take everything away from you, everything away from your children. My own ex, he has financially devastated my family. He has emotionally devastated my children. He's devastated me emotionally to a degree. And the thing is, and this is how it is with every single narcissist, They don't care. So they walk away from these relationships with zero concern, and even to their own children. This has been such a bitter pill for me to swallow. How cruel and callous my children's father is to them. I can't believe it, because I believed, and this is how it is for everybody, you see people through your own eyes. So if you are a loving person, if you are a kind person, if you are a generous person, you assume other people are like that. Of course, it goes the opposite as well. If you are a narcissist, you're not that way. So if you're a narcissist, you are a cruel person. You are a sadistic person. You are an evil person. You don't care about anybody else. So you look through your eyes at other people and you think to yourself, well, if other people aren't going to take care of themselves first, they're suckers, and I'm going to take advantage of this. That's how they look at it. So it's very much the opposite of how we look at things. So these relationships end up really being hell for the empath. And the empath has a tendency to hang on much, much longer than they should. They'll stay in these relationships for decades, forever. This really is a problem. So in today's video, when I discuss the supernova empath, if you can become a supernova empath, you can save your life. So I'm going to talk about what a supernova empath is. So a supernova empath is an empath that's able to manipulate and control a narcissist for enough time to get whatever they need to get out of the relationship. So you're an empath, you're loving, you're kind, you're generous, you don't want to lie to anybody, you don't want to hurt anybody, but you're in this relationship with a narcissist. A supernova empath recognizes who the narcissist is. You know exactly who they are. You know they don't care about you. You know that God knows what they're doing behind your back. You know they've lied to you. They're cheating on you. They're stealing from you. They're doing, who knows? You understand this, but you also understand because the narcissist has leveled you very often financially, particularly if you're a covert narcissist. If you're with a covert narcissist, you need time to make plans. That's what I'm doing right now. I mentioned in another video, my ex is a covert narcissist. I'm about to start the divorce proceedings, but I need a little time before I do that because I have a big house full of stuff I need to organize. Because as a narcissist, I know the second he finds out that I am going to divorce him, he's going to cut me off. It doesn't matter that his kids need to eat. It doesn't matter that I have bills to pay, things that he left me with. It doesn't matter. All he cares about is what he wants. And if he can be cruel to me, if he can make me feel pain, that's a good thing. And so many of you can understand when I say this, the true reality is that in my marriage, and I know this is how it is for so many of you, I know I was a good wife. I know I don't deserve this. This is not some equal thing where, well, yeah, I did this or I did that. No, I was constantly lied to. I was constantly manipulated. And as an empath, I constantly forgave. It's embarrassing for me to tell you this, but this is the truth. I believed at one point in my relationship, for a long time in my relationship, that my duty as a good wife was to forgive him, was to give him a second chance. What I was missing was that I wasn't giving him a second chance. I was giving him a 6,000th chance. If you're with somebody, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you do not need to stay. You do not owe this person a lifelong commitment when they are lying, cheating, and stealing from you. You just don't. Your commitment implies that both of you are doing your part to maintain the relationship. When one of you is doing your part to maintain the relationship and the other one is doing everything possible not to maintain the relationship, you do not owe them anything. You don't owe them one thing. I went to my pastor several years ago. My ex confessed to me one day that he was an alcoholic. He was secretly drinking. He was drinking after I went to bed. He was drinking in the car. He had alcohol stashed all over the place. Later, I searched the house and found tons of alcohol bottles. We have 40 acres of woods behind the house. He was drinking in the woods. He was drinking in the shed. He was always drinking when I wasn't around. Then one day he confessed this to me, and I really think he wanted me to feel bad for him. Well, I was so upset. I was so gutted. I was traumatized by this. I couldn't believe it. So this is before I knew anything about narcissism. I just knew that all of a sudden, what the heck? So I went and I spoke to my pastor about this, and he shocked me when he said to me, Sharon, you don't need to stay in this relationship. the church will be behind you and support you if you want to divorce this person. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe my pastor said that. It was the last thing I thought he would have said. I truly, truly believed it was my duty to be with him. You think of your wedding vows, good or bad, thick and thin, sickness and health. That's not true. Not if the other person isn't maintaining this. If the other person is doing as much as you to keep the relationship together, well, yeah, you do. But they're not doing everything they can when they're lying, cheating, and stealing, when they're drinking behind your back, when they're being as cruel as possible, when they're driving drunk with your children, when they have alcohol bottles stashed in the trash can in your garage. I mean, that's a sick person. That's not somebody that you owe anything to. And if you have kids with this person, they shouldn't be around this person. That's just the reality. So I was shocked when my pastor told me that I didn't need to be in the relationship with him. Now, as an empath, I made classic mistakes. I still stayed in the relationship. I moved on in the relationship. I tried to be a good wife. I tried to be a supportive wife. It wasn't until God himself woke me up, stood me up, and shook me that I finally got to the point where I could be a supernova empath. Now, I didn't even know I was doing this. When I discovered what this was recently, I recognized exactly what's happening with me in this, and I want to tell you because I really think that this will help all of you who are in these relationships and you feel stuck, like you're trapped. And this is what happens. You're like in this narcissistic jail. You don't know what to do. Your self-esteem has been so gutted. You've been treated so poorly. You've probably been abused, probably financially, and now you feel like you can't get out. This is what I want to talk about. Now, before I get into too much on the supernova, I wanted to talk about what a supernova is, what it was named after. A supernova is a dying star, essentially. So it is a big, powerful star at the end of its life. Towards the end of its life, it's going to explode. It has this gigantic explosion, a cataclysmic explosion. And in a few seconds, it can emit more energy than the sun can emit in its entire lifetime of billions of years. This is a huge event. So for us empaths, if we can become supernova empaths, we can make such a difference in our life, in our children's lives. So what we need to do in order to become a supernova empath, we need to recognize who the narcissist is. Deeply, we need to know who this person is. We cannot feel any empathy for them. We cannot feel sympathy for them. If they act kind to us, if they love bomb us, we have to always know who they are. We have to be stronger than we think we can be. And we all can be, all of us. We are not weak people. We might be gutted by the narcissist. We might feel like we cannot even make it through the day, where you are literally going minute by minute. I know, I get that. But in order to live your life, you have to figure out a way to do it. You have to force yourself to do it. You have to do it. It's the only way to be free. If you can't do it, if you won't do it, you're going to be stuck with a narcissist. And then one of two things is going to happen. Either the narcissist is going to discard you, and then you're going to be stuck without any time to do anything, or you're never going to get out of the relationship. And you're going to waste your entire life in this miserable existence. And your kids are going to see you doing this. And you're going to never have a happy moment, because at some point early in the relationship, the narcissist stops being nice to you. So you're with this person that is emotionally abusing you, maybe physically abusing you, financially abusing you, and you're just living this miserable life. I don't want that for anybody. In order to get what you want, you can still be an empath. You can still care about people. You can still love people. You just need to have a backbone when it comes to the narcissist. You have to see who the narcissist really is. It's a gift to be able to love deeply, to see goodness, to feel content inside you. But if you don't have a backbone, if you don't have any armor, you're going to be prey. And narcissists are like a hunter stalking its prey. They shoot to kill, but if they don't kill and they maim you, they'll just track you. They'll track you as you're injured and terrified. They'll follow your trail of tears, your confusion, your trauma, and gleefully they will give you a silent treatment. They'll rage on you. They'll abuse you. They'll blame you. I once watched a Survivor type show with my kids, And on the show, this guy shot a moose. He intended to kill the moose, but he didn't kill the moose. So this poor moose was just sitting there, and he shot it. And then the moose was in pain, and it was maimed, and it was trying to get away, and the hunter just followed it. For over a day, this poor moose was dying. It was in agony and terror now because it was in pain. It didn't know what happened. It was just sitting there. Next thing you know, it's exploding in pain. I've heard it said that if you get shot, it feels like a firecracker going off inside your body. So imagine that, and here's this moose. He's feeling this pain, doesn't know what the heck's going on, and the hunter's stalking him. Finally, the moose dies, and then the hunter takes its kill. That's like the narcissist. They will go after us until we are dead. And then if we do die, they're not going to care. They're not going to worry about this. They're just going to go get somebody else. This is the truth of who you're with. You are with a monster. So if you are a beautiful soul, if you are a narcissist, if you are an empath and you're with a narcissist, please go supernova on the narcissist. Understand who the narcissist is, who they always were and always will be. You're going to have to play games with the narcissist. Personally, I can't stand playing games. I have no desire to play games. I'm in my 40s. The last thing I want to do is play games with somebody. However, the true reality is that if you want to get out of this, you have to play games. You cannot let the narcissist know that you know who they are. This is very difficult. I'm not going to say this is easy, but it's how you're going to get out of the relationship. You can't win a game that you're not willing to play. That's the truth. So if you're like a narcissist like me, and he put you or she put you in a horrible financial situation, you're going to need time. You don't want to act rash and hurt yourself. My ex is homeless. He wants to come back to the house. Now, keep this in mind. He wants to come back to the house. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to be a good man. He doesn't want to change. He can't even go so far as to tell me he's sorry. He can't even do that little bit. He just wants to come home. He just wants me to let him come home and act like nothing even happened. He doesn't care that the kids are traumatized, that I'm traumatized. He's worried about himself because he has no place to live. Well, he could take care of himself. He chooses not to. He chooses to be a victim. But I, as a supernova empath, cannot feel bad about this. I have to understand what is really going on. I'm forced to play this game that I don't want to play. The reality, what I really want to do, I can't even tell you. But just think about it this way. Think about the hunter. I feel anger and rage and vengeful thoughts. This man gutted me. And so many of you will understand this when I say this because you have gone through it as well. I know I was good to him. I know this. I was good to him. But as a narcissist, he can't appreciate that. So what I really want to do to him, I can't, or I'll end up in jail. So I'm going to have to play this game. It's for me. It's for my kids. We have to get out of the situation. We deserve to be out of the situation. We didn't ask to be in the situation. He put us in it. He knew what he was doing, and he doesn't care. You will never regret leaving a narcissist, ever. I know it sounds like a cliche, but truly, where there is a will, there is a way. Do not stay with a narcissist because of fear. You only have one life, and I promise you, you're stronger than you think. If you stay with the narcissist where you're saving money and making plans to do it without guilt. Even if they love bomb you, stay strong, keep going, reconnect with yourself. Never let the narcissist know or suspect your plans. Don't blame yourself. You're still an empath, but you aren't a gullible one anymore. The narcissist is like a black hole, sucking everything into itself. Love yourself more. Love your kids. Do not focus on trying to change the narcissist or win them back. I mentioned in the last video that I'm seeing somebody. I'm not saying your goal should be a new relationship. That actually wasn't my goal at all. I did eventually want to get remarried, but I wasn't planning on dating anybody until my youngest, who's 15, was out of the house. I'm going to be talking more about this next week when Joe's on the show, but I just want to say something. If you eventually get into another relationship and you're with somebody that actually has feelings, that can love you back, that will treat you well, you will not believe that you put up with what you did for so long. So I'm not saying the goal should be another relationship, but if you eventually want to be in a relationship, I'm telling you, the difference between Joe and my ex could not be more different. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. All of us can have that experience if we can get ourselves out of the relationship. If you're still in the relationship, you're not going to have this experience. There is love out there. People attract what they give out into the world. Being with a narcissist was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to all of us, but it doesn't have to be that way. Be the supernova empath. Do whatever you have to do. If you have to manipulate the narcissist, then do it. You will never regret it, ever. I want all of us to be free. When you're free, you will be so happy you did this. You will be so happy that you did whatever you had to do to get out, to save your children. Your children are watching you. My children are watching me. I don't want them to see me as some weak, pathetic person just laying down dead and letting people walk all over me. I come from a narcissistic family. I don't have any family support, none. I'm completely on my own, but I am determined to do this. And I'm doing this on YouTube. You guys are watching me. Like, if I fail, you'll know. Like I told you in my last video, this is in real time. Everything that I'm doing. What I'm doing is getting away from my ex, getting away from him. I'm divorcing him. I'm moving forward with Joe. I really want to be careful with that, because I don't want people to think that it's a good idea to just, all right, you know what, I'm going to find a guy. That isn't what happened with me, and I'm going to explain that in Monday's video. But truly, if you are in a new relationship, when you are, and you see the night and day difference, you won't believe it. You won't, like, really. So I'm offering all of you hope. I believe in everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Monday, Joe's going to be on the channel. Hopefully, we're going to try to do a video this weekend. So that's the plan anyways, that Joe will be on the channel on Monday. You guys are going to meet him. You'll love him. And you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll talk about how we met and having a relationship after suffering narcissistic abuse as well. So if you have any questions that you want us to answer, please let me know in the comments. And other than that, I hope everybody has a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday's video. Bye-bye.